Hi all! Today we want to showcase one of our favorite mods which has just undergone some massive changes and offers amazing possibilities for those who like to work with modded builds in Conan Exiles. The mod we are presenting today is Pythagoras Expanded Building by Conan Exiles modder Multigun. The origin of this mod goes back to the Pythagoras support beams mod, which was created many years ago by modder Sunday and primarily included various beams for added building support. Since Multigun took over the maintenance of the mod a good while back, he's worked on additional features and most recently he decided to rebrand and relaunch the mod under his own name. With the latest and probably biggest update to date, the mod has evolved into much more, offering some amazing features which expand on building in general, and thus the Pythagoras Expanded Building mod was born. While we could spend many hours with the mod, we have tried to create a somewhat compact showcase of what it has to offer. We are pretty sure you'll love it, especially the latest additions. One last thing to have in mind, this mod alone will provide you with incredibly expanded build functionality, but if you also use Multigun's mod Less Building Placement Restrictions, short LBPR, you will have even more options as it allows for custom overlap of building pieces. Now let's get started. As mentioned, support beams are all that got this mod started. They allow you to build with added stability. If you ever wanted to build a massive bridge, a very large room or terrace without having to use pillars or additional foundations for support, these beams come in very handy. There are various horizontal and diagonal beams which can be used underneath regular ceilings or wedges. As you can see, they come in different styles and some have a lower profile than others, so they will be a bit more discreet. There are also dedicated versions which can be used with wedge ceilings. In addition to the horizontal and diagonal beams, there are also beams which are ideal for adding aesthetic accents to your build. For example, the basic vertical support beam, which can for instance snap to the surface of a wall, or the basic double diagonal support. Both also make for a great combo. These steel pillars also offer a great alternative to the regular pillars in the game. Let's have a look at a very long bridge connecting two large trees. The horizontal support beams underneath make it possible to extend stability, no pillars required. While there are more discrete designs which blend in better with your build pieces, the next feature of this mod adds stability while being pretty much invisible. Let us introduce you to Lattice support pieces for ceilings. You can find a selection of square and wedge pieces. These unique horizontal pieces provide additional building support and can be hidden inside any ceiling or foundation like this. Now, they do not only provide additional stability like beams, but also additional pillar snap points. By the way, on the wedge ceilings, the orientation of the pillars depends on the orientation of the wedge piece. We think lattice support pieces for ceilings are really nice because they give you all these additional options while being completely invisible and don't require any complicated building tricks for the different pillar placements. Oh, something we really like with these lattice support pieces is that they also make it possible to snap ladders to any ceiling. One additional benefit of lattice support pieces is that they allow you to offset your building pieces as well. The additional snap points make it possible. Before we move on, let's take a quick look at the lattice support within foundations and some of the possible offset wall snap points. If you have used building tricks to achieve the effect of half-height walls, you will really like this next feature of the Pythagoras Expanded Building mode. Full and half-height wall lattice socket extensions, as well as the more simplistic wall socket extension. Both the full and half-height wall lattice socket extensions can be hidden within any wall and provide additional snap points, for instance for different ceiling heights. There are so many possibilities of how you can use these wall lattices, but let's have a look at an example of a small house that features 1.5 height ceilings. We believe that's the perfect middle ground, as we often find two walls a bit too high and we pretty much never build anything with a height of just one wall either. This house looks directly a bit cozier. Now to the wall socket extension. It's great for when you want to extend your walls further down from a ceiling. You can do that of course with lattices as well, but the simple frame of the wall socket extension makes it possible to use window frames without the lattice being visible within the window. Another useful extension is the one for fences. The fence extension can once again be hidden within fences and provides additional snap points. Here's an example for how you could stack fences on top of each other using the extension. The different building materials offer even more variety, and you can also use an extension on top of a wall. Besides fences, you can of course also use these extensions to snap on walls or ceilings. Once again, there are tons of possibilities of how these can be used. Speaking of extensions, the mod's gate frame extension makes it possible to place a gate at the edge of any ceiling. Usually you can only place a gate in the middle of ceilings, which can be really annoying depending on what you want to build. Yes, you could use foundations instead, but sometimes you simply want to build with ceilings, like here in our example. In order to place the gate at the edge of ceilings, simply place the gate frame extension in the middle of where you want to place your gate. Now, that's much better. By the way, you can also do this with wedge ceilings, but this only works if you have the less building placement restrictions mod installed as well. We're not sure if you feel the same way, but we often prefer either the inner or the outer side when building with walls. Or wish we could have the outside look of one of the building sets and the inside look of another. Well, Multigun to the rescue. The nifty double wall extension allows you to place two walls back to back. Here we placed a single wall onto a double wall extension. You can see the extension slightly sticking out behind the wall. Select another wall, rotate as desired and place it. In this case we have now both sides showing the outer design. In the past we have occasionally resorted to building walls on both sides of a foundation to simulate this effect. You can also use this extension with window and door frames, as well as fences. Unfortunately, without having the less building placement restrictions mod installed, you won't be able to turn a fence inside out as the spikes would overlap with the other building piece. However, there is also a triple wall extension. It works the same way as the double wall extension, but you can layer up to 3 walls. The good news is that this also makes it possible to place an inverted fence by placing a wall and the fence on both of the outer sockets and leaving the middle socket empty. There will be a small gap, but at least it is an option. You can also do interesting things like placing, for example, the Lattice wall from the Riders of Hyboria DLC in between two window frames. This creates a nice effect of a small latticed window. Now, we haven't shown you the latest and biggest additions to this mod yet, and the following features are really adding a whole new level of expanded building options to the mod. One of our personal favorites, and you might have already seen a sneak peek of it in our recent teaser for the latest update, are double door frames. If you have ever been annoyed with the regular doors from the base game being too small or the gates being too big, then the various double door options included in this mod will fulfill many of your building dreams. There are 3 different sizes of double door frames: a regular 1 wall height frame, a 1.5 wall height frame, and a 2 wall height frame. All these frames can be used with any regular door from either the base game, DLC packs, or even other mods. Doors are conveniently converted to double doors to fit the size of the selected frame. And what's really cool, there are even options for rounded doors. All double door frames are currently available in 5 different styles: wood, insulated wood, dark wood, a lighter tavern style, and elegant white marble. As if that wouldn't be enough already, you can also dye these door frames if you have the Emberlight mod installed. Emberlight's Chroma feature lets you dye various building pieces, and that includes these frames. This is really great for when you want to make these doors match your building even better or get creative. The possibilities to combine all the different elements are really fantastic. Oh wait, there's more! While you can always use regular hatch frames and hatch doors as seen here, if you want to create some doors in your ceilings or floors, this mod also includes double door ceiling frames, and they're ideal for building some unique double hatch doors. Once again, they come in 5 styles. They're also available in a larger size. And here is an example of a larger double door ceiling frame within foundations. There's also an angled double door frame. The use of this amazing piece is not limited to doors, but we thought we'd show you how well it works as yet another double door option. These frames fit once again all kinds of doors. We haven't even started brainstorming for building ideas, but they surely make for great cellar or storm shelter doors. So the next item on this mod's feature list is quite unusual, and we are sure that we'll be seeing some really cool building ideas come to life with it. We are speaking of the upside down extensions for walls and fences. Let's first have a look at the upside down extension for fences to show you the basic principle of how these pieces work. On the left you can see the upside down extension, and to the right of it a regular sandstone fence. Now, if you place such a fence onto the upside down extension, you can still rotate the fence to either show the outer or inner side, but once you place it, it's actually placing the fence upside down. Let's have a look at the black ice version. Same thing here, but with this style you can see that it actually changes the design quite drastically. You pretty much get fences without the icy spikes on top. Next up, the upside down extension for walls. It works exactly like the one for fences as seen here. One really cool use of this extension is once again with doors. But this time we are speaking about using an upside down door frame in combination with a regular placed door frame above it. This creates a nice large window, something many of you have hoped to be able to build for a long time. Let us look at how you can build this. First, you place your upside down extension for a wall. Then place a door frame on it. As you can see, it's turned on its head. Now, if you would try to place a door frame above this one, it would still react to the upside down extension within the door frame below. So we have to use a small workaround. Simply place 2 walls behind the door frame like this, then add a ceiling towards the door frame, which in turn makes it possible to place another door frame below. But this time the right way up. Voila! You can of course add doors as shutters if you like to. And of course our small workaround can be removed as well. Here are some examples of how this could look with different materials and in a more complete build. In this case, we also turned some of the walls upside down to match the pattern of the door frames better. We also used the triple wall extension to place lattice walls from the Riders of Hyboria DLC behind the doors. Both examples use only the Pythagoras Expanded Building mod, the rest is vanilla. We are really curious to see what the building community will come up with, and we'd love to hear about your ideas in the comments below. If you want to go crazy, these upside down extensions will definitely make it possible. Speaking of crazy ideas, what about using walls as ceilings, ceilings as walls, or simply flipping your ceiling upside down because you like the bottom side of your ceiling better? All of that is possible with the 90 degrees wall rotation extension. And this also works with door and window frames. Now, let's take a look at how this extension can turn ceilings into walls. First, place the 90 degree wall rotation extension, then simply add a ceiling. The face which is shown always depends on the direction in which the extension is placed. To use a wall as a ceiling, for this we once again place an extension first, then for instance a wall. You'll now be able to place the wall as a ceiling. As mentioned, this also works with other pieces like door and window frames. There's as well a way to invert ceilings, meaning if you prefer the bottom side of a ceiling, you can now turn them thanks to this extension. Once again, place the extension first, then a regular wall or whatever you wish. Next, you place another 90 degree wall rotation extension horizontally, which will now allow you to place an inverted ceiling. As with the previous examples, the face shown depends on the placement of your extensions, so you might need to flip them a few times to get it right. Here's another example for what you could do with this extension. We have used a hatch frame to create a large window in our wall here. This could also be used as a patio door or similar. Part of the same, let's call it family of items, are the 60 and 90 degrees rotation beams. Like the 90 degrees wall rotation extension, they let you rotate building pieces in unusual ways. Since they are just beams and not an entire frame, you can use them with even more elements. Let us place some fences so that you can easier see what these beams can do. To visualize the functionality a bit better, let's place a 60 degrees rotation beam on the edge of this foundation. Next, we place a ceiling, and then another 60 degrees rotation beam, followed by another ceiling. There are tons of possibilities of how you can use these. As you can see here, you can even stack them onto each other. Okay, now to a few examples. Here we use 60 degrees rotation beams to angle bridge pieces. You can create all kinds of shapes, like here with fences and multiple 60 degrees rotation beams. And as a last example, we built a tiny guardhouse with a roof made of window frames. Now to the last big feature we would like to show you, the angled socket extension. This piece is ideal if you like to build some high stairs or ramps without having to bother with pillars or any type of additional support. Simply add extension after extension, and place stairs or ramps. What is great with this extension is that it also offers angled building sockets, which allow you to, for instance, add fences as stair rails, or anything else you like. Let's not forget about the angled double door frame we have shown you earlier with the double doors. This frame works very similar to the angled socket extension, except that you can use it with doors and that it doesn't feature angled building sockets. That can be resolved by combining it with the angled socket extension, so you get the best of both worlds. Both the angled socket extension and the angled double door frame offer tons of building possibilities. So maybe try to think beyond doors, stairs, or even ramps. As you can see, with all the latest additions to the Pythagoras Expanded Building mod, Multigun has really created an extensive mod for Conan Exile builders. Every feature in this mod creates new use cases for existing base game, DLC, and modded building pieces. While you can always wish for more, we think that the mod in its current state provides plenty and elevates building in this game to a completely different level. Now, last but not least, we'd like to mention a few mods which are highly recommended to use in combination with the Pythagoras Expanded Building mod. Less building placement restrictions is a mod also created by Multigun. It's intended to make building and placement a lot easier. Emberlight. The mod is aimed at role players and offers an abundance of items and features, including chroma that lets you dye various building pieces as shown with the double door frames earlier in this video. Arena Pier by Shugakusha. This mod brings with it a great variety of useful and beautiful building pieces which complement base and DLC building sets, for example half-height walls. We hope that you have enjoyed our mod showcase and that it has inspired you to take on a new building project. As always, we appreciate a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and even hit that bell for future updates.